Greetings and salutations, this is Huge Ass! And I'm back. The world's biggest YouTuber ever is back. And believe me, I'm raring to go. For my return, I noticed that Taboo Conspiracy had done a video on Antarctica, one of my favourite subjects, so I thought I'd have a crack at that. But then I noticed he started a series, while in my absence, that mirrors my own Flat Earth Killers series. He calls them Flat Earth Facts. As we'll see, they're nothing of the sort. Oh, and in case you aren't aware of Taboo Conspiracy, he's a conspiracy nutter. He's had 2 channels deleted, he's on his 3rd, hence it's called Taboo Conspiracy 3, and his other channels were deleted for misinformation. I think he's going to get this one deleted, as I'm about to show you.
According to the globe model, the surface of all standing water must have a certain degree of convexity. Based on the alleged globe circumference of about 25,000 miles, the Earth must curve away from you at 8 inches per mile squared. The formula is simple and accurate over all visible distances and has been proven by engineering software.
So we're straight into the first bit of misinformation. 8 inches per mile square is an approximation at best. It's actually the formula for a parabola, not a sphere. I know Taboo Conspiracy knows this, and yet he propagates the lie. That is dishonest. 8 inches per mile square comes from Samuel Rowbotham, the so-called father of modern flat Earth. So he's hardly a reliable source. It's a reasonable approximation for short distances. Taboo goes on to say visible distances, perhaps even up to 1,000 kilometres. But beyond that, it's a parabola, so it won't work. The real formula to measure what he calls drop, which is actually a difference in height from relative to where the observer is h equals r times 1 minus cos A, where h is that drop in height, r is the radius of the Earth, and A is the angle between the point where you are and the point where you want to be. As you can see here, that's accurate regardless of distance. And the reason for that is, it's because it's correct formula. Credit to earthcurvature.com for this diagram and these formulas. And as for being proven by engineering software, well, they might model local buildings using that formula. Like I said, it's accurate over short distances. But they're not going to build a bridge that's a couple of kilometres long using that formula because it'll fall down.
At just 10 miles, there should be a measurable curvature drop of 67 feet. 20 miles, 267 feet. 60 miles, 2,400 feet. To calculate what amount should be hidden behind the alleged globe bulge, you can use an online calculator like this one.
For God's sake, it's not a bulge, it's a curve. There's no part of the Earth that sticks out to block your view other than a mountain or something like that. What we're looking for is just how the Earth naturally curves away. This is what these deceitful morons do. They choose language like bulge, which has certain connotations which aren't appropriate in this situation. It's all part of their persuasion. Instead of finding facts and measurements, they try and play on your emotions using certain words.
We can prove that this curvature does not exist. For example, in this video I filmed the opposite shore 21.03 miles away. You can see both a laser source and its reflection on the water. That laser in the opposite shore should have been between 218 to 223 feet below the globe horizon. No curvature is present.
And there is a prime example that these idiots don't know how to do experiments. The whole idea is to remove all the variables so that the cause that you hypothesize is the cause is the only thing that could have caused it. We know refraction is a thing. Most of the curvature calculators incorporate refraction as a factor. Refraction generally bends light down, which means we can see further than what we would otherwise. The other thing he should have done is repeat this experiment under different conditions. If the temperature and air density and lapse rate and all those factors were different and you get a different result, you know what you got the first time was due to refraction. But no, he doesn't want you to think about testing what he's showing you. He just wants to show you the one result that supports him so that you'll be convinced. Don't be fooled. A real scientist would have done this 20, 30, 40 times at different times of the year and compared all the results and then formed a conclusion about what was causing it. That's the difference between scientists and charlatans like Taboo Conspiracy. Scientists collect the data and form their opinion on what the data tells them. Charlatans pick the data that suits the opinion that they already wanted to have and ignore all the rest. That, by definition, is dishonest. It's certainly intellectually dishonest.
At a different lake in freezing conditions, the source of this distant laser should have been 168 feet below the curvature. No curvature is present.
So let's have a look at the figures that Taboo used in the calculator to make the final point about these flat Earth facts. He's got an eye height of 5 feet, target distance of 18.83 miles. Horizon's distance should be 2.7 miles. Why don't you use metric? This is the internet. It's the world. The world uses metric. Catch up. Target hidden feet, 172 feet. What's that, 60 metres, 50 metres, something like that? He hasn't selected to allow for refraction at all. We certainly don't have any information on lapse rates or the height of the laser at the other end. I mean, if the guy with the laser is standing on a hill that's 172 feet high and there's no refraction, you're going to see him. And with standard refraction, you probably easily see him. You don't need much refraction to change the angle by that little amount. But no, he's a charlatan. He just chose what suited him and presented it as fact. Do it properly and I'll start to pay attention. None of you should pay attention to this fool. I think I'm going to have fun doing more of these, so keep an eye out for those. Many thanks to all my new subscribers I've had over the last month or so. I know some of you saw me on Simon Dan, and apparently some came through Mr. Sensible and a few other places like Where's Wally. Thank you to all those creators, and thank you for subscribing to Huge Art. The corgi's warming up, so if you like this video, click the like button. It really helps me out, as does leaving a comment. And if you'd like to see more of what I do, click the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you get notified of future videos that I put out. And if you really like what I do, please show your appreciation by buying me a cup of coffee through the ko-fi.com website. It's a one-off donation, which I very much appreciate. Many thanks to everyone who's done so far. There's a link in the description of this video for that, and there's also a link to my Discord server if you'd like to join there and have more interactions with me directly. Or if you'd like to more regularly contribute to this channel, you can become a channel member by clicking the join button below. For $3.99 Australian a month, that means you're a part of the Huge Ass movement. So there's nothing left to do but cue the corgi.
You're despicable.